Kicking it with Andy. Kicking it with Andy. Kicking it with Andy. Kicking it with Andy. Kicking it with Andy.
What is going on, everyone? This is Tuesday, Kickin' It with Andy show, and we're going to talk about planning your system, everything A to Z, the 101s, and of course, there's a giveaway. There's always a giveaway on Tuesday, so make sure you guys go enter at 8:30 sharp and send it to a friend. We need to get this information out there. So let's get this intro going. Sit tight, grab your favorite beverage, and I will see you in 3 minutes.
Kicking it with Andy. He's going to be on every other Tuesday. Kicking it with Andy. Kicking it with Andy.
Past 90 minutes-ish.
Kicking it with Andy.
Hey, Kicker Unmasked with our host, Living Loud with Andy. You're a rock star. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, Will, and thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We're going to have an awesome show tonight. Man, I put a little bit of work into this one. You got to on Tuesdays, and, you know, planning your system is so important, you just can't forget about it. So let's do some housekeeping, say hello to everyone, and by the way, if you didn't see the sign already, go enter the giveaway. Yes, we do 4 prizes here: the Bullfrog 100, the Tabor 2s, the EB 400s, and my ultra grand prize only on the Kickin' with Andy show. 50% off discount on anything at kicker.com. One-time use code forever. It's awesome. Make sure you go enter. And Kayla, thank you for doing that for me. That looks beautiful. My handwriting is chicken scratch. Just so you guys know where to enter, man. It's going to be fun. What's going on, Garrick? Thank you for tuning in, man. Oh, yeah, that was a good video Scott threw up today. Dennis the Menace, what is going on? Thanks for tuning in again, man. Let's see, we got somebody here from Kicker Club. What's going on, Chad? Appreciate you tuning in. Not how that works, man. If you're playing music's going to vary. Oh, okay. Yes, that one comment that I seen about the box rise. Impedance curve. Impedance rise. Whatever you want to call it. We can probably get into that towards the end of the show, but let's keep it simple. The 101s. Knowing about how this stuff works, and then we'll go down that rabbit hole. Blake, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in, man. Let's see here. We got everybody, man. We got Cornut. Of course, we got Cornut. We got Philip. What's going on, Phil? Appreciate you tuning in. Let's see. Now the show has started since Deviant is here. What is going on, Deviant? What's going on, Basehead 598? Congratulations on your prizes you won from the Deviant giveaway. Thanks for tuning in again, man. Sean Lynn, what's going on? Thank you for hanging out with us. Alan, what is up? Appreciate you hanging out. Cornut, what is going on, bro? Larry, Keller, Andrew, what's up, man? Appreciate you tuning in. We're going to have an awesome show. And yes, please hit the like before you leave. All right, cool. So, got a little bit of fancy stuff here. How to plan for your system. We're going to talk about everything of, do you just go out to the store first? Maybe. I mean, you could. I don't know. I'm an impulse buyer, and if I see something that I'm not too familiar with, maybe I'm buying the wrong kind of product. We're going to go into it A to Z. Now, bear with me. Instead of having my switchboard over here, it's kind of, limited. Got it on my phone here for the ATM Mini Pro, so I'll be able to go through these slides. It's going to be really cool and be able to do this kind of stuff for you guys. So let me get into the audio. Oh, not the audio. Media. There we go. And then I can go like that. Bada bing, bada boom. Now let me make sure I got this. This is a first time trial with this. It should work pretty good. Yeah, we're going to tie that in there. Awesome. Now that should, yep, perfect. Awesome. Get to media. Now I'm ready to go. Be flexible on your budget. Sometimes more is more. There can be diminishing returns, but it all really depends. If I don't want to get ahead of myself here because I got a lot of things so we can go over A to Z. We can't skip, LMNOP. We got to go through it all. But, like literally it's life. It's physics. You get what you pay for. They have sayings for that for a reason. And maybe sometimes you're paying for things that you may not need. So it's not 100% certain that that's for sure, but 9 chances out of 10, man. All right, let me scroll down here. See, I try to keep up with the show, try to keep up with the comments, because I know you guys just love to hang out. Facebook users, my mom, hello, mom, love you, mom, hello. Aaliyah would like a few bag of shebang chips. Got you, I will send those over. I know Dad was asking about those. Let's see here. Yeah, the Super Bowl commercial was great. What's going on, Bubba? Thank you for tuning in, man. Facebook user from Kicker Club. I plan out airspace, woofer size, and power, and then go from there. There's a lot of different ways, and it depends where your knowledge is. If you have no idea what you're getting into, it can get very overwhelming quickly. But yes, power, woofer, space, and the one thing people always forget is ohm load. Man, it really is. All right, let me scroll down here. Oh yeah, and this was just to reiterate on sometimes better to spend more early rather than even more later, because you might not be able to get, your money back for whatever you paid for a product that maybe not what you wanted, and you're wasting money, and it happens, man. I learned that with fish tanks, buying a little 10 gallons with the prefab filter, and it's just, it's no good. It works, but not really. It's better to pay a little bit more, and you get a lot more return on it. Let me scroll down here. I just don't want to miss your guys' comments. John Gotti, thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate you guys. We got a full house tonight, almost 46 people all together. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that you are here. Now, if I switch over, does that disappear? Perfect. Yes, ATM Mini Pro for the win. Again, guys, make sure you go enter the giveaway. The more times you enter, more chances you can win. Garrick, it's taken me many years buying all of the equipment, hardwares, and accessories that I need. Man, you know, and it's just, you can never have enough, and you can always learn more. And buying the stuff, you know, it might be a little bit more expensive that route, but you do learn more than maybe just a Google search. Check available credit first. Credit. Yes. Yes. You know, Apple Pay and, well, not Apple Pay, but the Apple Card, credit card, has been a godsend for me with YouTube, you know, just to be able to spend a little bit more and then build up my credit. And who knows, man, it's nice to have that credit for when you don't exactly have the money. You're waiting for that Patreon to hit. Speaking of Patreon, thank you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. V13, what is going on, man? We had an awesome show with the RGA podcast this weekend. Finished up the Amp Dyno. Man, it's running, but I still need to make everything look clean and always got more work to do. Dave Koslick, thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate that you are here. Let's see. Where am I at? Scrolling down. Kyle Davis, what's up, Andy? Half ohm daily, man. You know, I love me some half ohm, but you tell the average guy that, they're gonna be like, what's an ohm? What is an ohm? Let's see here. Let me keep going down the list. Now, the next one, how do you want it to sound? You know, a lot of people may want something in particular of whatever they're trying to have, and they might not know exactly how to do it. And yes, there's that, and that's where you want to go and ask somebody or do proper research, you know, because maybe you think, you know, this ported box might give what you wanted, but you're listening to, you know, rock or something like that where it needs, you know, quick transient response. You know, maybe a bandpass dual loaded enclosure might not be the best option. So how do you want it to sound? This is just kind of the basics, but we're going to get more into it as we go down the road here. Know your end goal before you begin. You know, I don't know how many people literally, they're like, okay, I want to run two 12s on 1000 watts, but eventually I want to run it on a 2K. And it's like, listen, just plan it like you're going to run on that 2K, because if you know, change your power input, everything has a variable. You change too much at one time, it just gets crazy, and that's not what you want. So it really does come down to the end goal of what you're trying to do. 101s in car audio is my favorite because I feel like so many people skip and they go right for the giant massive motors and massive amplifiers, and they don't really know how they got there. All right, let's not do Instagram. And I know someone else might have said this too, but how much space are you willing to give up? I feel like space is very important. You know, I went to Best Buy back in the day and I bought a Rockford Fosgate system with two P2s, loaded prefab enclosure, and it was MSRP 500, but it was a return product. It had like some marks from an amp being installed for $250, 50% off. I'm like, deal. And I go and buy it, and I didn't even think about it. I bring it out to the car. I'm trying to put it in my trunk, and it doesn't fit. It didn't fit. And these were the prehistoric times. I threw it in the back seat of my car, and it oh man, it just wanted to play 49 hertz, and that was it. It did not sound great, I will say that. So make sure you know how much space you got. And a lot of people don't want to give up a bunch of space. They still want to throw their tools in the back. Andrew Smith, oh my goodness, you know, he had a big system, you know, doing like 145s on like 1000 watts, you know, 212. That's pretty good, and it was respectable. 34 hertz, 36. It was pretty windy. Got rid of all that because he wanted trunk space, and it really does come down to how much space you are willing to give up. All right, let me see. Let me scroll down here and get my next one set up. We got a few of these guys. Let me get to the comments. Kicker crew, what's going on? Appreciate ya. Brian Price, thank you for tuning in. Jeremy B, what's up, Andy? What's going on, man? Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Again, guys, go enter the giveaway. Come on, man. Kayla didn't write this fancy sign for nothing. I want to see a bunch of you guys entering this giveaway. I mean, come on, man. It's a no-brainer. It really is. Let me see here. Give me 1 second. This is the fun stuff. You know, it's just doing this whole studio thing all by myself, but I'm really getting used to it, man. Yeah, we had 33 people enter. Come on, guys. Come on, man. Send this to a friend. Get it out there. Appreciate you guys. You know, I get it. Maybe you don't want to send it to a friend just so that they don't win it for you. But hey, man, you know, good juju goes a long way. Facebook user from Kicker Club. Let's see who this is. Well, we got Glenn McPherson. We got Chad. Let's see, what else? Okay, this is Chad here. I tend to go more for a daily street beating system. 212s, 1 ohm, 1200 to 4,000 watts, 4 cubic feet, tuned to 35. You know, I bet you that works, and I bet you it sounds good. But you know what I mean? It really does come down to, like what I said earlier, what does that person want it to sound like? What are they looking for? You know, 212s and 4 cubic feet is pretty ideal for a lot of 12s. Usually 12s, it depends, but usually their minimum's like 1.75. It just seems pretty normal. And up to like 2.5, depending. So that 4 cube, tuned to 35, and 1200 to 4000 watts, depending how much power you got, sounds very respectable. Absolutely, man. Some things are kind of cookie cutter with designs where, you know, you're going to get good performance, but can you get the best? Oh, I had it. Potential. Could you get yourself the best potential? You know, and that really comes down to, yes, enclosure, but more than just that. More than just that, where it's just, you need to have your amplifier be able to give it enough power, you know, and your woofer be able to handle it. What's RMS? You know, we don't want to be too basic, but I feel like some people out there that watch the shorts of mine, see it on kicker.com, because Bill shares it on there, on Instagram, Kicker, Facebook, everywhere. And I know there's guys out there that just want to know the basics. They don't want to act like I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't want to look stupid. So that's why I'm just really covering all the 101s, covering all the bases here. All right, let me see. Scrolling down here. Boom. Matching subwoofer final impedance to an amplifier that works best with that load and power. So what does that mean? You know, and impedance, ohms, resistance, you know, call it what you want. There's real definitions for each, but honestly, when you go out to buy a woofer, you're going to see this. You're going to see, oh, that's a little too big. Let's do this one. Oh, no, whoa, I forgot to reset that. That's okay. We don't need that tonight. I actually had the second camera as another key in for a picture-in-picture, but that's okay. This works perfect. Anyway, you can see good enough there. You know, you see the 4 ohm, the 2 ohm, DVC. What does that mean? Dual voice coil? You know, yeah, I think so. Single voice coil. And there's difference on all of them, man. Even the gold letters, you know, there's only one dual voice coil, 4 ohm. There's not many options. And the Street Series, they're single 4 ohm, like the Street Series right over here, the 8 and 9 inch mid-bass, mid-range, whatever you want to call them. They're only a single coil, but in 4 or 8 ohms. So it matters of how you know what ohms are. DC resistance, load. And it really does come down to all of these things. And now why is that there? That's not supposed to be there. That's not supposed to be there. Now it went away. Oh, come on, man. Now let me see. Yep, it goes there. See, it's all backwards now. That's okay. See, this is what we do. We learn here, we have fun, and it's live, folks. All right, now if I do that, and then if I put that up on there, can I do that? Auto. Okay, now we switch. Does it go? Doesn't go away. I got to hit the tie. That's right. It's always a pain in the butt, but once you get it going, you're good. Technology. All right, so we know we got to match them. We get that. We totally get that, but you know, you can go down the road of the rabbit hole of, oh, should I wire down a 1/2 ohm? Or should I wire down a 1 ohm on a 1 ohm or 2 ohm, respectable, whatever, amplifier, you know, running below its impedance, or whatever, DC resistance. You know, you can go down that rabbit hole once you learn more and you experiment. And if I'm going to tell you anything, you can experiment on Kicker amplifiers. I'll tell you that. Because if it runs too low, it's going to go and protect, and it's not going to shut down and catch on fire and just go poof, and it's done. They really brutally test their amplifiers so that they go and protect, come out, go and protect, come out. You know, they run their 45-minute whatever thermal, and then it shuts down, and then it has to go and do it again over and over, however that works. I would love to see that down the road of how they test everything. We'll get there when we get there. You know what? I know exactly what happens because I want the camera 3 instead of phasing back and forth from 1 and 2. That's why that works. And I want, okay, I'm getting this, man. You know, it's like literally putting on a performance, a live TV show. It is. It really is, man. And it's fun. And I just get to say everything and do everything. So we go as our whatever rhythm happens. So it kind of works. Space is bass. You know, bass, no space, no bass. You know, like, yes. Thank you for tuning in, SJC. I appreciate it. You are here. Matt G, what's going on? Hello, kind people. Thank you for tuning in. Sean doesn't want to give up his back seat. The rear seats are definitely important to me in my F-150. You say that now. You say that now. I said that too for the longest time. My Eclipse, yeah, they're gone. They're gone. I mean, I don't need it as a daily. I used to put my kids in that car too. Now it's just, no, it's base car. But the Pilot, though, I don't know. We'll see. Thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate that you are here. Double E, I know I should have been streaming on Twitch, but I was messing with, there's a Twitch, I don't know, internet speed tester, and for some reason I forgot my password, so I had to reset it, and it logged me out on StreamYard. I got to redo it. Sorry, man. Well, now I'm forcing you to come onto YouTube. Appreciate you guys are all here. Mr. Hi-Fi Vega, yo, what is going on, man? I was going to text you back about everything. I'll just give you a call later. Man, just getting ready for this, and then as soon as I came upstairs, I put my computer to sleep, and the entire screens were just wonk, and I'm like, oh, God, I got to reset everything, throw everything up again, no problem, we got this. Appreciate you tuning in. Shrink the cabin. I mean, yeah, you could shrink it, you know. Just buy a Geo Metro. They're already small. You don't have to shrink it at all. All right, let's see. Pull my finger. RMS is not always true anymore, as thump subs shown in the past. I don't know what that means, but you know, RMS, root mean squared. What does that mean? You know, RMS is literally the average power. Okay, now this can be a deep rabbit hole. RMS, root mean squared, you know, with an amplifier, how they figure that out is just like the max rail voltage times 0.707 and some other calculations, and it'll give you, you know, that's one thing I forgot to do for the ohms, but we got plenty. But that's how you figure out volt RMS. And I feel like with woofers and subwoofers and amplifiers, the way that everybody does it, some underrate, some overrate. But regardless, is the RMS of, you know, what it can do at 2 ohms and 4 ohms certified, or 1 ohm, whatever it happens to be. And they label that as RMS, and that's totally fine. And then you can get down the road of dynamic and peak power and just go crazy, nominal power. What's the difference? Honestly, every amplifier, if you match it RMS with the same brand, same model line, probably same brand, honestly, with the same RMS woofer, it's going to match perfectly no matter what you get. No matter if you get Boss, Sundown, or Kicker. If you match the brands, the amplifier with the subwoofer, doesn't matter what it actually does, it will match. You know, and that's the way you got to look at it. And whenever you first get into things, you know, yes, you should match RMS. Some will say, oh, put 125% RMS so you get a little bit more dynamic, so you're not pushing the amplifier too hard. And I get that, but I'm even more. I'm like, give me 200%. Just so I run my amp nice and cool. I'll run my subs a little bit too hot, but I'm never sending them a clip signal. But I never tell anyone that first gets into audio to do that. You know, honestly, do it like we used to back in the day, you know, with like maybe 500 RMS on 1,000 RMS sub. And even if you clip it, you're never going to kill it. But I don't want to suggest that either. It really does come down to each person's, you know, usability of like what they know, their experience, how far they want to push it to the edge. And that's why, you know, the RMS just kind of became a thing, and it will keep you in that safe window, but it doesn't automatically say, oh yeah, you'll never blow your sub. So there's that. It's like firewall protection. You know, it's going to get mostly everything, not everything. So is it true? I would say it's true, but it can be misconstrued sometimes. Got 60 people up in here tonight. Appreciate each and every one of you hanging out with me. Let's do it. All right, so How to find the final impedance. How do we find that? Ohm. Loads. Let's get into it. It's going to mess up my whole little switchy thing, but it's okay. We'll get it going again. All right, so let me scroll down the comments before we get to the apps. You know, I love these apps. You can use them on your phone. I feel like 95% of you always use your phone rather than computer. It's perfect. So we're going to get into that, but let me catch up on the comments. We got a few from Kicker Club. Andrew Stoltz, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate that you are here. Let's see what else we got. Sub ohms for life. Yes, 65 people. Love you guys. HD Phillips, thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate that you guys are here. I need a little red dot like how Ernie's got for the Kicker cameras. Know which one's on. That dot helps, man. The Kicker clock is finally working. What, did it stop working? I usually try to check it. My cat usually goes after it once in a while. All right, cool. Let me see what else we got here. Tick, tick, tick. Yes. What's going on? Scott. Smooches, gang, listening, driving home. Be safe, Scott. Appreciate that you are here. I will see you Friday. Sean Lynn, my 2 ohm stable amp worked when wired down to 1 ohm fine while the engine was running. Engine off, it would go into protect and come back out of playing a little bit. You know, I don't want to get too much into this, but yeah, honestly, it's your voltage. And it was making that little bit of a difference where the engine was on and the amplifier wasn't reaching its max amperage inside the amplifier because there's volts and amps. And then when you didn't have enough voltage, it just couldn't supply the power. That's my opinion on it. And you never want to run an amp on no batter or on no input power unless you got tons of batteries, man, because your voltage is, instead of being at 14, it's starting at 12 or 13 volts and going down. It's never going to be good. All right, let me scroll down here. We got a lot of people up in here tonight, man. You guys are awesome, man. I love you guys. I can't read everything. I'm trying. 63 people in here tonight. Love you guys. $20 super chat from, is it Bubba or Fuego? Oh, Fuego sent me. He said, hit that like up, y'all. Do it now. Takes but a simple mouse click or tap. Thank you, Baba, and thank you, El Fuego, for reminding Baba here, man. El Fuego, we miss you. Can't wait to see you. I hope you're doing better, man. And Baba, thank you so much, man. You guys are nuts. These comments are crazy tonight. I'm trying to get through it. It's so hard. It's so hard, but I got a lot to cover. I told you, we're only 27 minutes in, and I'm about maybe halfway over on the frames, on the little shots of the little things over here, but we got more to dive into over there, so bear with me, guys. What's going on, Tom Williams? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you guys, man. You guys are awesome. Okay, I caught up there, scrolling. Bass Junkie 2020, what's up, Andy? Just stopping in to say hi, one of my favorite car audio channels. Thank you. That means so much, dude. Thank you for tuning in. You guys are nuts. I don't have a Gately box money, but they're going to last. Just like I was saying, man, it sometimes, but it comes down to experience too. Maybe you could build one, maybe just as good, look as good and be the price, maybe, but that takes experience and time is money. 100%. Yeah, Fox Acoustics will be my next box purchase. Talk to Bubba about that, man. He had both, so get his opinion on that. Mr. Vega, the new war horses are in a new in-house ground-up design. Yes, I know a lot more than I'm saying, but I don't know what info is already out there. Oh yeah, man. I mean, honestly, everything is ground up there except a very few amount of things, and even those they take and they make to the way that they want it to be. Right, but yeah, that is definitely from the ground up. I don't know if someone said anything else about that, but you know what? Kicker will defend itself, man, just with the performance and the quality. Trust me, man, it is worth the money. You can just run those amps into Protect over and over, and they just keep on going. And that's great because we are bass heads. We are crazy with that stuff. All right, cool. Let me get to the other stuff that I have because we got a lot to do here. I want to scroll down to the bottom so I keep seeing the comments. Awesome. And I'll just be able to read them too because I'm going to be doing other stuff over here. All right, so let me get back to this, how to find that final impedance. What we're going to do is learn about ohms, ohm loads, ohm law. Not so much ohm law. Ohm law is more like figuring out power, resistance, voltage, amperage. just ohm law and how to wire subs and know kind of what you're getting into with everything. We got Stu. What's going on, Stu? Thank you for tuning in. We got Bobby B. Of course, we got Bobby B up in here.
Uncle Bobby B, baby. Uncle Bobby B.
Got to throw it up every time, man. Appreciate that you're here. All right, cool. Now, there's a few different ways you can do this. I have a website, which is just amazing. I've always went to it before, and we got apps. So let's go over the apps first because we'll make them short and sweet, and the website is a little bit better in my opinion. All right, so let's go to the apps. All right, we got the Kicker app right here and the Ultimate Car Audio app. The first one we're going to go over is the Kicker app. Man, I made that picture way too big. That's okay, though. You don't need to see me right now. Anyway, so what we're going to do is look at the number of drivers and single voice coil, dual voice coil stuff. You know, no matter what you do, even whenever you're looking at a woofer at the store, you're going to want to look at it if it's 2 ohm, 4 ohm, dual voice coil, single voice coil. Know that first, and then you can go into these apps or the software or anything like that and figure out, do your own homework on your time that you can, man. Look at this stuff. It is here to help you. And, you know, you want to type in the amount of drivers, single voice coil or dual. And there's a lot with this. This is a very deep subject. But to keep it kind of simple, you know, I mean, honestly, most coils are 4 ohm dual voice coil. I think they're more common than 2 ohm. But either way, if you got 2, all you're going to do, see if you can see me here for a little bit. Yeah, I'm kind of blocking everything, ain't I? But either way, dual voice coil, 4 ohm. And if you want it to be at 1 ohm right here, which a lot of amps are stable at nowadays, more so than before. But at the same time, you know, maybe it's not 1 ohm stable. And it depends what kind of amplifier you got. A monoblock, a 2-channel, a 4-channel. I've ran bass on 4 channels. You can do it. Is it the best thing to do? Maybe not, you know, because 4 channels, I don't know, man. I feel like there's a little bit way different topology in that. I mean, you're making power for each individual channel. We've seen it on Derek's channel with testing them. They're not always 100% accurate. Or as the same power for each channel. So it does make a difference. But this is going to keep it simple to just one amplifier. You might want to keep it simple. And you have 4 ohms, dual voice coil, 1 ohm. I mean, this is kind of simple stuff, but some people just kind of don't know this. And we're going to go over it, man. Kibo, thank you for the $10 super chat. Lady Kiblet says hello, spending her money since she called me during the show. Tell her I said thank you, and thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much, Kibo. Appreciate you, man. All right, and series wiring parallel. Okay, now just series wiring, that means that you are taking all the terminals, each one, and you're just going to wire them all in series. Now, I know the Kicker website can be a little bit confusing, but if you look right here, all it's saying is from this positive, this negative, it's just going to be a one wire just going from one to the other. And that's where it gets really confusing with all this stuff, man. Because look at all these wires going all over the place. Okay, and this one's black and red. What does that mean? That means that it just goes from one to the other. But it gets kind of complicated. But whenever you go down farther, series parallel wiring. Series parallel means you go up first, go from like 4 ohms to 8 ohms, and then back down to 2. And put them together and gives you a 4 ohm load. You know, this is just really confusing. That's why I want to say just go to the graphs and figure it out. And there's more than just the Kicker app with this stuff. There's the Ultimate Car Audio app. They got a lot of stuff too. And let's see what else we got here. All right, yeah, it's a little bit more ones and zeros on this side, but it works. And they also have diagrams too. Single voice coil, but a lot of speakers just aren't single voice coil. But if you go into it thinking, okay, a single voice coil, I just can't do series or parallel. I mean, I can go series or parallel. I can't do both because it just doesn't work. I mean, you can if you got, what, 4 of them? And then I think you can, yeah, you can wire a setup in series and then a setup in series and then back down to parallel. But it's like, you know, you don't have enough. Where dual voice coils, each coil acts like a speaker. It really does. So it gives you more options. And yes, it can kind of throw you off, you know, if you're trying to run, you have a dual 2 and it was great at, you know, 1 ohm or whatever, and then you grab another one and your amp's shutting off. It's because you're down at half ohm and your amp is not stable at half ohm. So anyway, back to this. It's real simple again. Let me pull this up really fast. Number of speakers, we'll just do the same thing, 2 and then 4. You got to like physically type these in, which is fine. And then what's cool about this app, it'll show you like if you have more than one amplifier. And it'll say, boom, 1 speaker on each amp will have a final impedance. You know, 2 ohms or 2 ohms or 8 ohms. And that's just because you only have 2. And it can get really crazy once you go over 2. Let's say we go to 1 amp again. We're 2 speakers, come on, 2 speakers at 4 ohms. Looks pretty simple, right? Parallel 1 ohm, series 16 ohms, series parallel. Sorry about that, keyboard, I had to pull you down. Series parallel 4 ohms and parallel series 4 ohms. Okay, but why are those the same? We're going to get into that because if you have more than 2 woofers, more than 2 dual voice coil woofers, it will make a difference. If you have 3 or 4, that'll make a difference. And why I don't know exactly. I don't know everything, but I just know. Now look at that. Half ohm, 32 ohms, 2 ohms or 8 ohms. Why is it different? Just between if you wired up first and then down, or down first and then up, and it's just because you got so many woofers, man. It gets pretty crazy pretty fast with all this stuff. And one other thing that I wanted to show you guys is on Crutchfield. Crutchfield is the best way to look at all this kind of stuff, just because they got everything. They literally got everything, man. Big Lots too. Yes, Deviant. Jeremy B, what's going on? Appreciate that you're here. Now, I will leave this link. I'll drop it right now. We got to go throw down the giveaway link. I'm gonna drop this link right here to this website because, man, I've used this so many times in the past. It's kind of crazy. You know, not always for me, but to help somebody out of, you know, how to wire it up, because it makes it so simple. It really does. All right, so excuse me, man. I got some gas here. All right. If you want to learn about it, you can get all into it. Single voice coil, dual voice coil, ohms, all that kind of fun stuff. And we're keeping this light just for the simple fact that, you know, it's a rabbit hole and there's a lot to cover, but impedance, matching your impedance with your amplifier is the most important thing, because if you don't give that amplifier the right impedance, DC resistance to start off the gate, you're not going to get the most potential out of it, or it's not going to work. And that's literally the 2 things that are going to happen. That is it. So let me scroll back down here. Cool, Machu. Let's see. All right, now this what is really cool. It literally shows, you know, finding the right diagram. Do you have a mono channel amplifier, a 2-channel, and a 4-channel? It makes it so easy, guys. I mean, you don't really have to know how to wire anything, but you want to type this stuff in, you know? And it's very important to do your own research. And man, I can't stress that enough. And it's just great because, like, you know, again, we can go with like 2 woofers. We'll keep it simple, because if you go 3, you're getting some weird resistances. And that's another thing, man, when people want to, hey, can I run 3 subs on 1 amp? And it's like, yeah, why can't you? It's just going to give you a weird final impedance, and that impedance can swing. Let me tell you, maybe like a 0.67, and maybe that's too low for your amp, or a 1.33, or whatever it happens to be, dual voice coil 2 or 4. And that's where it gets really crazy. So, you know, the single voice coil, I really wouldn't worry about it, because it's pretty simple. It's just, you wire it in, and it's how many you got, parallel or series. There's no parallel series or series parallel. And that's where it gets confusing when you're trying to get a final ohm load of your woofers. And with 2 speakers, it's hard to mess up, but you still want to get that final impedance of whatever it happens to be. If you got 2 4-ohm voice coils, you know, and you want to run it at 1 ohm, you know, you can have it at 1 ohm, or you can be at 4 ohms 2 different ways, or 16. And it just, you learn that stuff the more you do it, you know, just Ohm's law of like how many speakers you got, what's the resistance going to be. Let me tell you, I went crazy this weekend with those load resistors because the impedance wasn't right, the resistance wasn't right, whatever it is, it wasn't right. I'm like, it's not close enough, it's not in the leads. I'm going crazy because I love this stuff, and I learned it as a kid, and just, you know, didn't really go too deep into the rabbit hole, but I know it pretty much off heart. You got to. All right, so anyway, and then you go to the store, you go and pick out whatever you're going to do. The salesman says, all right, run this, run this. All right, man, no problem. Sounds good. Sounds good. And, you know, you want to do your own research and take someone's opinion and take it and be like, all right, cool. I'm going to go home with that. I'll be back. Maybe I won't. And, you know, I had a little thing for that, but it's just, don't just go to one store. Don't just go to one Google search and be like, all right, that's the answer. Do your own research and don't stop, you know, and wait, be patient. That's the best thing I can tell you guys to do. No matter what level you're on. Plan ahead. Learn. So, all right, now look, it even has low impedance. That's pretty cool. But let's just keep it simple. We got 2 dual voice coil 2 ohm subs. Now let's do the 4 ohms, but then see how it gets a little crazy. It's like, well, which one do I do? You know, and that's where you really got to look at, okay, yeah, I'm going to go with the dual voice coil 4 ohms, but I want it to be at 1 ohm. The amp can be at 1 ohm. Well, then go down one more, and then you'll see that it has it at 1 ohm low impedance amplifiers. And they put that there just for the simple fact that, you know, not all amplifiers are 1 ohm stable. It's becoming more of a thing that it is now than it isn't. But for the longest time, you know, 2 ohm stable was the norm. It just was. We're running our amplifiers very low, and you got to have good control and just quality built parts for it not to blow up. It just seems like that to me. But yes, so that's the wrong thing. I don't want to do that. Okay, yeah, see, it's all going everywhere. Okay, what are you doing, man? Come on, man. Now we got that over there. It's okay. We can fix that. We got a little fancy switcher right here. Let's get rid of the tie right there. And then we can go auto and tie. Perfect. Now we're good. Now, it's really hard to do a live stream rather than a video where you can go video and boom, 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 boom. Because I'm like kind of talking about everything. It gets pretty crazy. Thank you, SJC. Dropping facts. But yeah, you know, I have a few things and I want to get over them really fast. Go over them really fast. Get over them too. Man, that's a lot. All right, so how to find that final impedance? I mean, you know, we kind of did that with the website, with the apps. That's how you want to do it. And just read the box. It's pretty simple. What about the amp? How do I know which one? You know, and that's where Crutchfield really comes in clutch. no pun intended. Literally comes in clutch, just because it shows you, you know, okay, you got this, and then you have this 1 ohm or 4 ohm or 2 ohm or whatever it is amplifier for that monoblock 2-channel, 4-channel, whatever it happens to be. And I like Crutchfield for that. Crutchfield is clutch. Cannot wait. All right, so mono 2-channel. We kind of went over that. So many choices, you know. Keep it simple. Mono amplifiers, keep for your subwoofers. Just period. Just keep them for your subs. 2 channels, I mean, those have their place, but honestly, unless you're doing some kind of front stage or you're in a boat and you just need to be loud, I would just stick with the 4-channel. And bridge, man, whenever you wire these speakers, you know, you might look at this website and you can hook it up to a 2-channel, but you gotta look where it'll show like bridge mode or not bridge. Do I take a dual voice coil 4 ohm and wire it 2 ohm and then bridge it on my amp because it's gonna get more power? Yeah, you'll probably get more power and you'll probably blow your amp up too, because each channel, it's 2 ohms, it's seeing 1 ohm on each channel. When you bridge something, it sees half. It's just how it works. You're splitting it up. You're bridging it. So what do? Do you just take each 4 ohm coil and go from channel 1 to channel 2 and not bridge it? That's the same way as bridging it at 8 ohms. So that's what you could do. You could bridge it, or you could wire it up to 8 ohms, that dual voice coil 4 ohm sub, up to 8 ohms, and then bridge it, and then each one will see 4. That's the safest way to do it, but maybe you should have chose the dual voice coil 2 ohm, wired it up to 4, and then bridged it at 4, each channel seeing 2, what the 4 channels are usually stable at. That's why this is so important. I feel like so many people just scroll right over it, man. They don't even pay attention. They go out and they look at RMS, they look at power, and they're like, okay, we're done. That's it. Or they buy a loaded enclosure with, you know, subwoofers, you know, and Kicker, you know, they sell them literally at, all of them, it seems like, are dual 2, and they're loaded, oh, wrong one. They're loaded enclosures, and they're at 2 ohm final impedance. You know, even the quad box, 2 ohm final impedance. And the single ones are dual 2. But I think that's a dual 4 inside there. And that's how it has that final impedance of 2 ohm, and so does the 10. But then the 12s have a final impedance of 2 ohm, and that's just because they're dual 2s wired in series and parallel. You know, there's no other way around it. So then maybe you go out and you want to wire it down to 1 ohm. You can't. You're at half ohm or 8 ohms or whatever it is. So you're kind of stuck. And that's why it's so important to do your research. Maybe I should not buy that box. Maybe if I really want to get the most potential, buy them separately and build my own box, or whatever the situation may be. But honestly, if you run these at 2 ohms and match RMS, it's going to sound great. Yeah, you can get a little bit more out of the amplifiers like the CX1800. Yes, it can be wired at 1 ohm and 2 ohm. But honestly, you're only going to see a little bit more power on where you have a lot of box rise. You know, we love that term, on your impedance curve. And you'll see a little bit more power there, and maybe the dynamics not so much. I don't know. There's a lot of variables. It depends the amp. It depends how you have it tuned. Lots of stuff. But it's so important to just know all the stuff and how the stuff works. See, I did it again. I messed it up. See, now it's on that other side now. God darn it. It's okay. Okay. Well, you guys already know to enter the giveaway. So, I mean, doesn't matter which side we're on. Deviant, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. This dude is running one-man show. Hit the like. Appreciate you guys, man. You know, this is hard. This is a lot of stuff. We're already 46 minutes in. I feel like I just scratched the surface. All right, cool. Let me move on to the next one here. Again, Deviant, thank you. Yeah, I already talked about doing your own research. We've been over that. Yes, please do your own research. Take your time, like I said. Always get multiple opinions when starting out. Some people could mislead you. God, yes. Yes. You know, man, even YouTubers, all of us, you know, we learn. Maybe we say something that's wrong. It happens, man. So maybe for your own self-benefit, keep looking around. Keep asking. You know, if you keep hearing the same thing over and over, and everyone keeps saying the same thing, other than Kicker's sold at only Walmart and it's, you know, whatever, and it's wasted information, usually it's true. So keep your eyes open. Always keep looking for more stuff. 100%. Let's see. To keep an open mind and take your time when deciding. I already said that. This is what I'm saying. I wanted to not be able to do this, but to have a nice flow, you kind of just got to go on your own here. Don't go to just one store, ask for help, and thank them for your time, man, you know, because they get paid commission. Depending where you're going. You're in this for the long haul. The more you know, the better. And, you know, I don't think that could be any more true. You know, you can never know enough about this stuff. You really can't. I'm always learning, and it's intriguing to know how much I don't know, and it makes you want to learn more. It can be a little overwhelming, but man, you get that fire, that spark, you'll know. And then the last thing I have here, the more you learn, the closer you will get to what you are looking for. You know, again, like I said in the very beginning, of how do you want it to sound? And the more you know of ohm laws, of power, RMS, all this stuff that we're talking about, just do your own research. There's so much information out there. It's not even funny, you know. And like I said earlier, there can be some misinformation. So keep looking. Make sure that, you know, just keep Googling, going down there. Don't go too far down the Google list, but just look for other things, you know, relating that topic. And watch a lot of videos, watch a lot of stuff. I don't know what kind of learner you are. I'm a visual learner, hands-on kind of guy, you know, so I watch videos. And that's what's great about technology, man. It's like I was just kind of built for it. And I didn't do so well in school reading a book. No. So all this stuff, and it's just interesting, and it's what I like. So it just makes it easy. And it can be easy for you too, honestly, because then you can enjoy it more. You can enjoy it more, and that's the fun of it all. Because you don't want to be frustrated over your system not working and not sounding good or the way you wanted it to. I know a lot of people that would go into the field and be like, oh yeah, I want to get a system, and then they send me a Rockville, nothing against Rockville, but a Rockville in a truck box on like 150 RMS clamped, like boss ratings bad. And I'm like, that's $170. why don't you spend at least $300 to $500, because it costs a little bit to get into car audio. It costs a little bit, and that's why they make those products really, really cheap. But is it even worth it? That's the whole thing about all this. Is it even worth it? Bass Junkie 2020 with a $5 super chat. Thank you for taking time out to do these live streams, help people learn how to set up correctly. Thank you, Bass Junkie. Appreciate you so much. And man, you know, it's just something that I've always loved to do, is help people in general. And if it's something that I'm pretty good at, I like helping people. And you know what? Car audio and live streams, it kind of just happened. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. And the one-on-ones are so important, man. You know, I've had guys that are louder than me. I love them to death. But they're like, should I wire it like this or like this? And I'm like, what? How do you not? Okay, here's a chart. You know, and it's sad, but you know, if you just want to bang and you love bass, that's great. But you know, to know your system is very important too. At least your own, just so you can learn a little bit more. And not hating on those guys that just don't know. They just want to bang, and that's totally fine. But you know, if you're driving down the road and you're wondering why your amp keeps going out, and you don't know about ohm loads, and all that stuff with matching your subwoofers with your amplifiers, you're gonna have problems, man. You're gonna have problems, but I am always here to help, no matter what. Appreciate you guys, man. You guys are awesome. RGA, you are late, and I think, no, it's not too late to enter. I think you guys can still go. Let's see, we got 11 minutes left. Let's see here. I swore it said earlier. You take a sip of my drink anyway, man. I gotta pull that down. I don't know where it went. 56 people entered, and there's 56 watching right now. That's crazy. All right, cool. Again, guys, go enter on the giveaway, www.kicker.com/umweekly. It's scrolling on the bottom of the screen right there. And you know what? Let me pull this guy down. I could do it on the computer. Yeah, I can just do it on the computer. Oh, where'd I put the ATM? There she is. And then we can turn that off, and then that shouldn't go on anymore. There we go. We're good on there. All right, cool. Let me see if there's any comments, because I think I went over everything. We actually got it all down. I mean, if you guys got any other questions about anything that I talked about, now is the time. Oh, excuse me. Corner not using his burner accounts. We got the IP address locked, Deviant. We know everything. Joe Keenan, thank you for tuning in, man. Hey, Andy, what's going on? Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Let's see. I know I probably missed like a lot. Good question, Car Audio Joe. What is Kicker going to replace the KXA line with? As of now, nothing, but the Warhorse is coming. And I know the KXA line was amazing. The Bluetooth bass knobs, I mean, come on. But they did run their life. I mean, 6 years of being on the shelves. And that's the average life of their products. And then they make a new one. And that was actually already revamped, because it was the KX before the KXA. And that was the 2 ohm version. And they're always working on stuff. They're like 5-6 years out on stuff always. And it's sad that, you know, everything happened the way it did with the Solo X family and Warhorse and all this other stuff. You know, it's taken a while to come out, but they're already 2 steps ahead of us on what they're going to do next. So I'm sure that it's down the rabbit trail somewhere. But when that actually comes to light, I don't know for sure. And I wouldn't know. But keep your eyes open. And you know what? The CXA line isn't as powerful, and it doesn't have all the DSP functions and all the fancy crossovers and Q factor that the KXA amps did. You know, I get it, but you know, with the Warhorse coming, they are going to have an amplifier that's powerful. And Warhorses, I don't know, we'll see. Like I said, so keep your eyes open. Thank you for watching. I like to wire low. Okay, we can get into that since we got like 5 minutes left. That's where you kind of want to learn of your enclosure, of what it can do. We can pull up that one app, which I can kind of show how that stuff works. Let's do... Okay. This has the kicker... Yeah, you can see enough. I made that way too big. You can see the kicker L712 enclosure, dual loaded enclosure that I have pinned up on the screen here. And if you look on the very bottom right there, down here, you'll have like these impedance spikes and stuff like that. And honestly, with an SPL meter, it's a lot easier to find out and see how this stuff works. But you'll have pretty much, you know, you'll have a spike, and then a valley, and then it'll spike, and then a valley. And it depends how everything is, but you know, you'll have really high impedances where you're not even, you will never see your starting load. Like if you're at 2 ohms, we'll keep it simple, 1 ohm. You're at 1 ohm, you never see 1. You'll see like 1.6, 1.5 at the very lowest. I've never seen lower. And then anywhere from up. So if your amplifier is 2 ohm stable, then you would need to play and have an enclosure that would have over that 2 ohm rise all the time, no matter the frequency. And then that's where you can be like, well, I can run it at 1 ohm, no problems. And there's variables, your voltage, can your power keep up? And just, you know, how the amp's designed. There's a ton involved with it, but that'll give you an idea of how to do that. And without the right equipment to test that, it's hard. And you can't even be like, okay, well, I have a dual 4 and I know what my rise is. If I get a dual 2 and wire lower, I know what my rise is. It's going to act a little different. Now, it's not a big difference because you're using the same enclosure in that aspect, but there can be a difference. Weight of the cone, you know. Dual voice coils, they got more, or higher impedance, higher load, resistance, DC resistance coil. Gotta watch what I say. They'll be jumping on me. Higher load, more windings, more weight. So that kind of just happens. But I don't know, man. There's a lot of variables with that. And but that's kind of where you can run stuff lower. And a lot of enclosures will have, and it's all over the chart, you know, whatever the band range you're trying to play, your impedance will go up and down, up and down, up and down. But there's usually an average of, you know, where it goes the highest. And that's where you're the most efficient and you're clamping the least amount of power. And usually in the vehicle, it'll match that really good or not so good. And it all depends where you're playing. Oh man, variables. But to keep it simple, you can get like not that much power. And that's why people are like, man, I'm rising to 5 ohms and I'm wired at 1 ohm. And it's like, well, maybe you just have an enclosure that's very efficient at that frequency and works very well with your vehicle. How do you fight it? Add more power. Just run a bigger amp. But then you run that bigger amp and then you're not around where you have all that high impedance on the curve in your enclosure with the woofer, and you play down low and then you start unloading and then you're getting twice the power than you really should be sending it. And then next thing you know, your speaker has jumped the gap and it's sideways or it's crooked or whatever it is, and it's just done. That's why I don't like to suggest that to people unless I got my hands on it and I can be with them and kind of show them what to do. But it's still, they need to have that experience to get there too, man. All right, cool. And, oh, we still got 5 more minutes, actually, for the giveaway. Let me take a look here. I hope that was interesting. Let's see. 60 people entered. Woo! Nice. We went up 5. You guys are great. Now, if we can get 60 likes, no, we won't, because this is on Facebook, on Kicker Club, on my Facebook, on my page, but mostly YouTube. You guys are awesome. At least 40 on there. Please smash the like. Thank you so much, guys. All right, cool. If there's anything else I need to cover, let me know, guys. I really thought this show could have been longer, but I kind of skimmed through a few things here and there. But it's like a lot to unpack. It really is. All right, cool. What's going on, Matt? Thank you so much, man. Matt is very smart too. Thanks for tuning in, man. I know between you and Adam with this SPL lab, I need to work on that, update it, got more stuff coming with that, but getting over the hurdle with the new amp switcher and everything else. I think I could show that now. Yeah, I can unhook my Wi-Fi because to control the ATM Mini, I need the Wi-Fi connected to this on the phone, which is pretty cool. So the ATM Mini Pro is amazing, but in order to screencast my camera on my phone, I need to be on that Wi-Fi. Fun stuff, but you know what? It's coming. Everything's working. This is not my problem anymore. It's just getting that amp dyno together so you guys have some amp dynos to watch. Lots of stuff, lots of amps, and just stuff to learn, man. But here, let me make sure this is working. Multi-view. Oh, of course not. I got to turn on the screen mirroring first. That would help. Yes. Screen mirroring. Okay, come on. Philip Lusher, worst thing for audio builds is the dreaded ground looper whine. Man, you know what? A lot of that just comes down to, man, just crappy equipment. Better equipment, you have less of a chance of that, but it can still always happen, man. That ground loop. It's terrible, man. It really is. But yeah, it's a little bit of a mess over here. If you look on the top right there, let's see if I can zoom in on here. Up there, we got a switcher now. And we can go from 4 ohms, 2 ohms, 1.3, and 1 ohm so far. I'm going to try to hook up another 2 channels for the reactive load. If not, no biggie, I can still do it. But yeah, we got the nice 500 watt 4 ohm resistors over there with the Kicker SX 350.2 is like my display speakers for like the KB6s for my TV over there so I can watch unmasked and all that fun stuff. It's a little bit of a mess over here right now, but man, we got stuff coming. We got stuff coming. 67 people in here now. I know you guys are waiting to see who won, so let's do it. I think it's time. Simba, it is time. All right, cool. Draw winners. Or is it too early? I mean, I can still draw them. 70 seconds left. We'll wait. Try to enter as quickly as you can if you haven't already. Send this to your significant other. Have them enter. Andy, talk about series, parallel benefits, and disadvantages. You know what, man? That is a rabbit hole. That is a deep rabbit hole where if you wire in series and then parallel, supposedly a coil ran in series can get better BL. Just, you know, magnetic field of the length of the coil. You know, the magnetic field where the coil has to be inside of the magnetic field from the magnet of the motor. And supposedly in series, you have more of that in the motor compared to parallel. And that's where, you know, you're kind of pulling straws for what we do is just basing out, you know. But yes, with sound quality and maybe, you know, when you're deep audiophile, it can make a difference with that. Let alone what I was talking about earlier when you have more than 2, where it can change your final impedance. From, if you got 4 dual voice coil 4s, you know, instead of being like 1 ohm, it could be like 4 ohm or 2 ohm or half ohm or whatever it happens to be, just because you wire it series parallel instead of parallel series, because you got so many and it just gets really confusing. But the disadvantages of that, yeah, it could be the BL, but with the disadvantage, I wouldn't say it's the wiring impedance, which it could be. So maybe you need to buy dual 2s instead of the dual 4s because of being parallel series. You want to be series parallel, whatever it happens to be. You really got to know this stuff, man. And you get crazy when you go down that rabbit hole right there. Tom William, Andy, best wire gauge for door speakers, 14 or 16. It all depends the length. Doesn't matter really what you're doing. It depends your length, man. Length, and current over that length. So, you know, I see people, there was a guy on YouTube complaining about, you know, an American bass, like entry level, like 500 RMS woofer, complaining that it had only 10 gauge inputs. It's like, yeah, you don't need that 10 gauge input unless you're running at like 30 feet, man. Like, you really just don't. If it's inside your enclosure, you can run really small wire. You know, look out of how much current is going through the wire. And you can figure that out by your amplifier, how much current that it makes with VAC, volt, amp, whatever, VAC, and the amount of current that it does compared to whatever. And that's why it's like, yes, you can run 16 or you can run 14. What is it? Look at the charts and you can kind of figure it out. But with amplifiers, it gets a little confusing. So they go and tell you, you know, if you're running it for a subwoofer, yeah, go 14 or 12. If you're running it for a door speaker, you know, 16 or 18. 14, I think, is a little excessive, especially for door speakers, because the wattage is so low. I mean, you're really only putting 50 to 100 watts each channel at the most. And when you're playing music, you're not even seeing that. So you really don't need huge wire unless you're going a very long distance, which in a car can be pretty long, but still the power is so low. I would say you're totally safe with 16. Kicker has 16 gauge wire for their speaker and then 12 gauge for their subwoofer wire, man. And it's beefy, let me tell you. Pull my finger, who needs crossovers on amps when you have a head unit to do all the work with a signal? You know, right. And that's why I've never ran passive, I've always ran active. Head units have a lot of control. But if you really want to dial things in, you can add, you know, maybe your own custom passive crossovers. But it's still, I feel like it still limits you. Maybe on a sound quality level, maybe the passive crossovers work better than the digitally controlled crossover. I don't know. That's a rabbit hole that I don't want to go down. But right, you really don't need them. You can just use everything on the head unit, and it depends your layout. You know, maybe you don't want to send something, you don't have a subwoofer out, but if you got all those settings, you probably have a front, a rear, and a subwoofer, 2 sets each, RCA's out. So you should be okay. Yes, quarter ohm. Just send it to the dirt, and you can ground it. Yeah, just in the ground. Blake, wiring low isn't worth it 95% of the time. In my opinion, you're seriously hurting reliability and only gaining 1 dB most of the time. You know, it really all depends. But right, you know, if you're wiring really, really low, if your amplifier's got a lot of headroom, whatever the situation is. Right, I gained, whenever I wired down, I mean, I gained 2 dB solid. I doubled the power. The amplifiers, I had a lot of, you know, boxer eyes. We love that term. And just for that burp. But right, everywhere else, probably not 2 dBs. Probably, like you said, 1 dB, or maybe it's not that much more or not that much less. Right, and it really all depends. When you're just trying to get numbers, yeah, sure, do it. You know, but like you said, you are stressing the amplifier out. You're pushing it really to its limits. It's like when, you know, any of us do an amp dyno test, you know, oh yeah, it's 2 ohm stable. I got it at 1 ohm or half ohm, and I'm only rising to what it's stable at. That's like doing a resistive load constantly. You know, you're just really stressing the amplifier out. And yeah, it's just not going to last. Anything is not going to last forever, but better quality stuff will last longer. They usually do their purpose, and then you buy something new. For some reason my comments got all the way sent back. Got you, Garrick. Thank you for watching, man. I appreciate that you're here. We got Dub Team. You are late. It's okay, man. Thank you for hanging out, dude. 65 people here. That's a high average. That's a high average. You guys really like the show. I'm glad. You guys like the giveaway stuff. I'm glad. Dub Team with a super chat. $5. Hey, Andy. Oh, not used to that being there. Hey, Andy. Love you, bro. Just a quick shout out to Stu, Baba, Cornut, Kolbs, Kibo, just me. Thank you so much for the gift. Love you guys so much. 10.9 volts for the win. You know what? I seen that in the background, and I thought that was so cool. These guys that we got in this chat right now, they are the best. A1 Sean Don. 100%. Thank you, Dub, and please enjoy all that stuff they sent you, man. It's awesome. And he got a little bit of Living Loud with Andy merch too, which is so cool. Thank you guys for getting that for him. All right, cool. Let me get to the winners here. 61. We had one more person enter. You know what? I am glad I am that, you know, whatever. Made you do it. Do it. Because you know what? Why not? Kicker swag or a coupon for 50% off, or code, whatever you want to call it. It's a code. But still, I mean, come on, man. All right, cool. Let's do it. 61 potential winners. Deviant, nah. Where are you picking on that one? Always. All right, cool. Let me get to my work here. Leave me be. Alrighty. I got the chat up here, so I'll be able to read you guys in real time. Don't look at the sign. It's too late to enter. Don't even look at it. All right, cool. Rigged. Yes, it's rigged. Sean, the rigging is about to start. Is this like Anakin Skywalker? I think so. Come on, man. Ah! Darn it. No. Oh, we can do that. Delete that. Send this. Okay. Oh, perfect. Cool. Super rigged. Always super rigged, man. Always. Dub, Bobby B and Matt G, all the boys at the Discord server. Thank you, Dub. There's my rigging sheet. Yes, that one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What kind of email is that? I don't want to know. All right. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, yeah, it's got some bugs in it. Come on, man. You know, I love spam like the next guy, just not on the internet. Spam, did you ever deep fry spam? It's actually pretty good. Okay. Well, let's do... Yep. And this one. Now you can buy a Red Bull in the morning. Thank you, Matt. Oh, that's a familiar face. Let's see here. One at a time. Cool. Paste. Good. 2. All right. Come on, man. Come on. You guys are making my work extra hard tonight. Let's see. Right there. Okay, so that's good. Let me try this part right here. Bear with me, guys. I know I'm kind of boring. You guys are making me work extra hard today, though. Okay. I think I know. 1, 2, 3. I mean, I should know these people, right? Awesome. We're set. Now, have to put in the names. You know, I got a rivet. Just a little bit. Oh. What, spam? Chad, I would love to win some kicker swag and living loud with Andy swag. You know what? We might be doing that soon here. But Deviant keeps giving all these giveaways, and then Bobby's coming up with one on this Friday, so make sure you tune in always. They don't let me do it. Base Junkie 2020, Andy for mayor. Thank you so much, man. Love your stuff too, man. Thank you for the $5 super chat. You guys are awesome. Thank you. All right, let me get the banners going. Okay. Yep. That is... Ooh, Washington. You guys like when I say the town or the state so you think you won? And then I read a different name? I don't know. Like I feel like it's a good idea. Come on, Andy, you know how to spell. Washington. Second place. Yeah, that was third. Ooh. And oh, right by Slamology in Indianapolis. Oh man, I'm not even gonna try to spell. I'm gonna mess it up. I'll remember. You know, I used to be great in the spelling bees. But you know, with technology, kind of make you dumb. You forget. First place. Oh. Colorado, huh? Oh. I hate. Pasadena, huh? That's pretty close to me. Maryland. All right, cool. Let's check the chat, and we're gonna get this going here. I use my friend's address in New York City, so it's all good. Mr. Washington himself. Oh, that's where Deviant lives. I thought it was a state up for me. What the heck? What's going on here? Can't tell it's rigged when it takes this long to pick winners. You know, not at all, man. This show is never rigged. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Stop with the rigged rib stuff, man. You make me look bad. Annie yanking our chain, you know. I got to do something here. All right, awesome. You know, let me see if I can at least make sure the audio's off so you don't hear me twice. So I can at least see the Living Loud with Andy on YouTube comment section, because I can never see it when I'm doing the winners, because no, it's not going to do it. All right, so let's do it. First, nope, just kidding. We're going to start at third. Third place, you get the EB400s, the Kicker on Mass shirt. I think they're throwing out lanyards too in a Kicker koozie. Third place goes to Joe B in Tacoma, Washington. Mr. Washington himself. Thank you for watching. You'll be getting an email from Bill shortly. Now be patient. Jason Grant, I know you just won last week on Unmasked. If you guys have any questions, email social@kicker.com. Bill will get to you in order. If you have any questions, but always keep an eye out for that email. They will not forget you. I got everyone's stuff here too. So you can message me too. It's no problem, and just go down the line. Second place, the Tabor 2s. Tabor 2s. Sorry, lost track of my thought. Happens sometimes. And all the other stuff, the unmasked koozies, the cups, the lanyards. There's so much stuff. It's pretty cool what they're doing for you guys. And obviously the Tabor 2s, those are just great, and that's what I wear for work every day. Second place, John C. from Columbus, Indianapolis. Heck yeah, man. Congratulations. Thank you for watching. So cool. So cool. First place. It's not the Kicker Kush. Oh, it's that guy right there beside the pretty girl. You can't see, it's almost off camera there. The Bullfrog 100s. Now those are great. Portable, Bluetooth, charger phone, semi-waterproof or waterproof. I forget which, man. I wouldn't put mine in the water just cause. Even if it is. Even though my phone is, I will not do that. But you get one of the Bullfrog 100s and they are awesome. And everything else, man. The unmasked t-shirt, all the swag. First place goes to Jacina C. in Denver, Colorado. Congratulations to the first place prize. Now wait. Oh wait. There's more. There's more. It's Kicking with Andy. We do a little something special thanks to Steve Irby and Saber. Speaking of Saber, we miss you, man. I hope you're doing well. Miss you in the chats. So for the ultimate grand prize on the Kicking with Andy show, the 50% off discount code goes to, drum roll please, I'm going to need one of those things. Yep. Dennis A. from Pasadena, Maryland. Congratulations. I will just send you that code to your email. I'll verify that it's you. I got your email. I'll send you that code. Use it however you wish. It's only good for one time. So make sure you either wait for something to be in stock or plan ahead. Maybe, you know what? That's perfect. That's the perfect thing to do. Plan ahead. So enjoy that discount code. I will get that to you after the show. As soon as we roll some credits, I'll be looking for your email reply back. Thank you guys so much for watching, man. You guys are freaking awesome. Not even looked down once at my phone for the comments. Congratulations. Are they releasing a version 3 of what? The KXA? I haven't heard anything. Mike DePoli, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Will, congratulations all the winners. Thank you, Andy, for a great show. Thank you, Kicker, for all the prizes. Man, I never would have thought. You know, I watch all these other YouTubers and they're like, oh, we're going to do a giveaway. And I'm like, man, I cannot wait till I get to that point. And I'm doing it, I feel like, so much earlier than I really thought I would be doing it. You know, because it costs a lot of money. And Kicker does this for you guys. And, man, and Deviant and Bobby. And you guys are just an amazing group as a whole. You guys really are, man. We lost 5 people. Now we know. Everyone else is OGs. Thank you for... No, I'm just kidding. No, I get it, man. I would be tuning in for the prizes too. You know, why not? Why not? And if you can take something away from the show, great. If not, just come for the prizes. I get it, man. I get it. I get it. Just, I don't know. Maybe they like Scar a lot. I get it. Everyone has their own brand. I get it. I like Kicker. Here we are. Thank you, SJC. Appreciate you so much, man. Great show as always. Thank you, Matt. Oh, what the heck? Matt, thank you so much, man. Bass Junkie, man, you guys are awesome. Give me one of those laughs, please. I'm not doing it. Oh, Cornet. OG's in the Kicker Cave. We're all just hanging out. We got enough space on the couch. All right, guys. Well, you guys are awesome, man. I love you guys so much. And no, you cannot combine the 50% off with what? With what? 50% off anything at kicker.com. How cool is that? Dennis, enjoy that. Enjoy that. I know Baba will and Cornet has. That is amazing. Man. All right, guys. Well, I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'll see you guys at the caboose. Thank you for watching Kicking with Andy, planning your system. And as always, I will see you Friday. Shoot, got to have that pinned up first, right? I will see you then. Stay living loud.
Kicking it with Andy, 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 kicking it with Andy. Kicking It with Andy. He's going to be on every other Tuesday. Kicking It with Andy.
Yes, Jacina, you won! Yes. Dub, you're lucky you make beautiful designs and no aftershave, guys. I got a lot to do as always. I will see you Friday. William, thank you so much. And everyone, you guys are awesome. I'm going to catch you guys off guard. The first super chat. I'm catching you guys off guard. The first super chat that comes in gets the Caboose ticket. We're switching it up today, folks. The first one that comes in gets it. Gets it. And you guys can see right here. We'll put it over here so you guys can see it. And it goes on and on forever. And John K is the Caboose. He got the Caboose. I switched it up and John K got it. Deviant and Cornut. Thank you guys so much for your super chats. I love you guys. John got the Caboose. Mike DePoli. Thank you so much, man. Caboose. Great show. Oh, man. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. John K, enjoy the Caboose ticket. No snipe in the night. I will see you guys Friday. Have a good one and stay living loud.